activities and attractions here. You know, all of us in business, all of us in Cork should be selling how wonderful our region is, because when people do come and visit, they're bowled over. But it's our job to encourage them and to make them feel welcome when they come. And that's something that we all have an obligation to do. So, and we want to do it. We'll make a lot of enemies. Only one friend and a lot of enemies out of this, I can tell you. Huh? Will I go back and tell them the prize? So just to recap, the prize is the Room to Think product that they have down in Castlemartyr. It's a meeting room for up to 20 people, including the 5-star lunch for the team, morning and afternoon coffee breaks, and once the hard work is over, each guest has a choice of mini spa treatments such as Indian head massage or neck and shoulder massage, or a round of golf at the beautiful links style course. And the winner is Alan Hurley from Faithful Gould. The one morning part of that is that Andrew just said to me, it's okay, he's sitting beside me. So definitely in trouble after that draw. I suppose what we should do now is we want to talk to Conor Buckley is our next speaker. Conor is the chairman of West Cork Tours and Co-op. And before I do that, maybe just to talk about some of the things, the topical things we're seeing at the moment. And those of you who know me will know that I'm a glass half full person. And just to say a couple of small things that I see are good about what's happening at the moment. All my retail people are saying that retail is up just a little bit year on year, and that's always a good sign. Those who are involved in training, which is generally an industry leader in terms of what's going on, say the training bookings have started to go up again. And also the level of job vacancies across the water in the UK are much stronger than they have been. And that's an indication that the world economy is recovering and will get dragged up by our bootstraps. I do think we need to address consumer confidence. I think we need to be positive about businesses insofar as we can. We all know it's been difficult, but you know what, we're still alive. And those who are still alive are the winners and the survivors. And you know, it's when you see a company like the Facet Line and what the guys in West Cork Tourism have done to create that you actually grab the good parts of what we've been able to do and say that these are good things. I mean, imagine if I say to you, a group of people are going to get together in the grip of probably the deepest, our most acute recession that we've gone through. They're going to buy a vessel and going to start a new route, or restart a route, maybe we'll start a new route after a number of years lapse, and take that risk. And you say, God, are those guys mad? No, they're not mad, but they're brave. And maybe they are mad. Some lads who know a table here saying they are mad, but they're brave. And also they show what everybody in this room and everybody in this region should be able to do, which is get up there and do something for ourselves. For many times we look and we say, oh, the government didn't do this, or we didn't do that, or Europe didn't do this, or didn't do that. You know, it's up to us to go and do things for our region. It's up to us to get a unified, single point of view for our region and go forward with that. And if we go with different views, and if we go with mixed messages, then people will run rings around us. So there's an obligation on us to take the good things that are happening in our region, promote them, to go and deal with any things that we need to deal with, preferably on a local basis, and also take things into our own hands and make things happen. And absolutely pressurise government to support us on certain areas. But you know what? I would never wait for government, with respect, to go and solve any of our issues. It's up to us to give the solutions, deliver the solutions, and do what the guys in the Facet Line have done. Get a boat running, get people travelling on it. And it's an ill wind when you see no planes flying, but the boats are very certainly going. And Conor was saying we did extra sailings this week, and may have to put extra sailings next week to accommodate the demand that's there. And we wish them the huge amount of success, because we're all anxious that they survive and prosper. Let me talk to you a little about Conor and himself. He did win, those of you who know, the Cork Person of the Year in 2009, in recognition for his efforts I suppose, probably in relation to the ferry, but over a long period of time. I know Conor for a good number of years, and he's worked tirelessly really for developing tourism and giving selflessly to go and generate business for this region. He has 5 kids, ranging from 8 to a baby. I didn't quite inquire what age the baby was, because I'm coming from a relatively young family as well. I know that when baby is baby, that's enough for that part. He does a bit of sea kayaking. He claims during the summer, but the rumour from the other lads is that he tends to do a bit during the winter as well. And he also he describes himself as a bad golfer. having said that, I've come across very few people who describe themselves as good golfers, so I always take that with it. I never put money on a guy who describes himself as a bad golfer. He is the chairman of the tourism co-operative which owns Fastest Line. I mean, you know that the work that the guys put in to raise the money to get the ferry service going, and you know it's something that we in the chamber have been very supportive of and pleased to support. We know it's not easy. You know, market is difficult at the moment, business is difficult at the moment, but you know, by working together, we think we can make this a success. So, Conor, over to you. We look forward to your presentation.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who know me know that I come from the parish of Castlehaven down in West Cork, which encompasses the two villages of Castletownshend and Union Hall, and that's a picture of Union Hall there to my right. And I suppose the fishing villages and fishing communities all around Ireland, and in particular in West Cork, are acutely aware of the tragedy of the commons. You know, this is a theory that's out there since about the 1960s that a common area that no one actor in the area is enticed to protect the resource for everybody else, and they're inclined to grab as much as they can, and as such the common resource gets abused. And I suppose, you know, we witnessed that to a certain extent with our fish stocks here in the southwest. And I suppose in many ways that's what leads me on to, I suppose, the crisis faced by the tourism industry, in particular I would suggest in West Cork and South Kerry over the last 3 or 4 years. We had a ferry service that ran on and off for over 100 years that had stopped. And clearly for the entire industry it made sense to have the ferry back in there. We all knew that it supported somewhere in the region of about 1,000 jobs between the counties of Cork and Kerry, and it injected about 50 million a year into the various communities. But yet, I suppose the challenge was that no one actor or no one tourism business, because most of them tend to be quite small if you look at them in terms of their scale, could afford to restore the link. And why should they, I suppose, would have been the attitude of some. The service as it stands, and I suppose, you know, it's very topical at the moment, makes a lot of sense for people who are travelling either to South Wales from here or down into Cork and Kerry. There's a saving of approximately 600 kilometres of driving in terms of round-trip driving. The fact that it runs as an overnight service also means it's a very comfortable way to travel either to Ireland or back into South Wales. Effectively, you can, you know, as people have been doing over the last couple of days, I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. You can leave the city here as late as probably 7:45 in the evening, be down to Ringaskiddy for 8 o'clock, get on board, have a meal, go to bed, and you wake up at 7 a.m. and you're in South Wales on the motorway, and you're down into London or up into the Midlands or Birmingham, wherever you are, within a couple of hours. So it really is, you know, a great way to travel. I suppose the challenge we had was that to restore the service was a project that costed an order of about 15 million euros. And when we looked at it, basically nobody had that type of money available, certainly in 2008, 2009. And as part of West Cork tourism as it existed before we formed the cooperative, we'd been lobbying a number of ferry operators, some of the existing ferry companies, to see would they restore the link. And basically, I don't think anybody was truly interested or had the resources, in particular as we got later and later into 2008, to actually make that happen. We had some expressions of interest, but nobody could really, I think, push it through to make it happen. What we came up with, I suppose, was an idea that my American colleague would describe as social entrepreneurship. But in many ways, we were standing on the shoulders of giants in terms of, I suppose, agricultural and fisheries cooperatives who have, you know, been, I suppose, some of the backbone of industry here in County Cork for almost 100 years. And the idea that we came up with was that by cooperating together, basically the industry could make it happen for themselves. No one actor or business could make it happen, but if enough came together, it was a possibility.